Hello, good afternoon. This is 509 Vine Pines Podcast. I'm your host, Joseph Pena, and today I have Brett, the founder of Heart and Soil Project, the man of a million seeds, and let him introduce himself right now.
Hey, how's it
How can
going? Yeah, I'm Brett. Got a Heart and Soil project. Consists of we got Heart and Soil CBD, Heart and Soil seeds, and those are one and the same. We have it might get confusing for some people because we have heartandsoilproject.com, which is mainly our CBD products, hemp shirts, hats, things like that. And we
nice?
don't actually have a website for the seeds just yet. But it's at Heart and Soil Project on Instagram or Heart and Soil Seeds. Sorry, I got my dog sniffing at me. Hey.
It's all right. My dog's right at my feet too.
Yeah. So yeah, Heart and Soil Seeds at Heart and Soil Seeds on Instagram is kind of our backup. So yeah, that's the long and short of that division there. But yeah, basically what we do is we're really focused on regenerative agriculture and utilizing no-till living soil and living soil in general to produce our seeds and our CBD. Our seeds are produced all in no-till living soil, and we really strive to bring old school genetics together with kind of some of those new strains and make something really special. We like to preserve what we can, from those original lines, by making F2s and BXs and things of that nature. But then we also hybridize and make F1s of totally new crosses with, some of the more exciting cultivars, that are available right now. So that's kind of our niche is the land race combined with some of these really popular strains. So we
Yes,
can
sir.
kind
You're
of dive
bringing in
into
the
that.
originality, I do say, man. That's awesome that you're bringing the classic strains in because a lot of people don't really know about the classic strains and how long they've been around in these cultures and how long it's helped our world.
And they're the
And
building blocks. They're the building blocks for everything we know. You can't get to the 10th step without starting with step one. And some of these strains were and are the building blocks of some of the best strains that we know and love today. So I like to go back to our roots and try to utilize that to build new foundations.
you definitely do have some amazing flavors. So my viewers, go check out his page. He has the most amazing flavors. All
Yeah,
right.
we really try to focus on on those unique terpenes that a lot of people just don't see and don't that I don't see, and I'm trying to bring out some of these things that I like
Yeah,
into those
the
products.
terpenes are natural to the world. They're found in every sort of plant, and if we can utilize these terpenes to interact with our body, because that's what they actually do, these terpenes interact with our body in specific ways, we can benefit our human self the best we can. And you, dude, you're right on the spot, man. The terpenes are right where it's at.
Yeah.
So, what are you really doing with the terpenes yourself? And could you tell my viewers?
Yes, I mean the terpenes in general. I mean, I'm just trying to bring
or
out.
or, or
Uh,
anything or
yeah,
anything
I'm
with
trying
your
to bring out as much of those terpenes as possible. That I that I you know that I like. There's a lot. There's the multitude of terpenes out there. I really gravitate towards kind of like lavender, floral, fruity, creamy, bright. That's why a lot of
and
my
people
senses
would
of
like these
mine.
flavors in lotions or in oils for your
Yeah,
cooking
yeah.
and anything, and
In
these terpenes.
aromatherapy, gas,
Yes.
gas and skunk, and a lot of these like rank terpenes are very popular
And since
right
you
now.
provide CBD, it is medical benefit.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so there's a lot of different terpenes out there for sure, but with the ones I kind of gravitate towards are some of those sweeter flavors, and yeah, I'm just trying to make hybrids and stabilize cannabis strains so other people whether you be a novice grower or experienced grower, big giant facility, and everyone in between. I like everyone to be able to experience the best of the best terpenes, the best um, medicine that this plant has to offer. So That's
Right on.
my
And how
goal, is
long
making
have
these
you been
accessible.
doing this, and how long did it take to open your eyes to the true beauty and essence of this plant? I mean, for the first couple of years I was smoking, I was questioning things if the terpenes were affecting my body in the right way, but I wasn't sure. I was just kind of, going through the process and medicating my body and my spirit that I felt natural, that this is why it was that I was smoking it. And I understood that, but I didn't really know it. So around year 5 through 10, I started getting a little bit more involved with the sciences. And how about yourself? So our viewers can, feel a little bit of inspiration. Not everybody just gets it right off the spot. And I'm sure
Yeah,
it wasn't the same
yeah.
way for you.
I used to get caught by my dad, like in high school and stuff like
Me
that,
too.
smoking pot,
Same
right?
here.
And then, he's like, we're gonna be smoking pot. You can't be smoking pot for the rest of your life, Brett. And I was
It was
like,
all that reefer madness
actually,
propaganda
I
that
do
everyone was taught
believe,
with.
yeah, I do believe that, that I'm going to be smoking, and a lot of people are going to be smoking on their porches when they're 80 years old, and it's going to be legal. I told him that, in Texas, and in 2006, whenever it was like, taboo to be smoking weed, the cops are out, sniffing for it. So,
Yep.
from I felt that way early on. I didn't really know the medical benefits. I just had a feeling, but I didn't know the medical benefits until I
Right.
got to Colorado. In like 2011, I got to Colorado, where it was legal. Started growing, legally for the first time. Um, you know, and eventually got into the industry. 2012, 2013, got into the industry. Was able to like actually see the science of the testing, the people being helped, the patients and all these things. When you got like the medical side, you got the recreational side, and this can be like one and the same. You can
Yeah,
enjoy
they
it
can
and be
mix them.
medicated at the
And if
same time.
you're in the right county with the right employees and the right business, it'll definitely be one of the same.
Yeah, it can be one and the same, So, but I think it was just at that time is when I kind of had my eyes open to like how many people it was really helping, and how much like cultivation of quality, clean cannabis, like how important that was to people, because there's a
So
lot of stuff out there that's just
in
not.
Colorado, that medical strain that everyone knows is Charlotte's Web. Did you happen to try that? And is
Yes,
that
and
something that
Charlotte's
sparked your
Web,
interest? Because
I've
that's definitely something that sparked my interest about a decade ago.
I've grown Charlotte's Web before. It's great. People like latch on to Charlotte's Web as like
I haven't
the
tried it.
one, right? But there's so many more, especially now. I
I
feel
mean,
like Charlotte's Web,
that opened up people's eyes. I'm just gonna
it did
say,
open up people's eyes. I think whenever you get into the science of it, you can make like
and
the
a beautiful
equivalency of
strain,
of,
the
of
perfect
Charlotte's
medical
Web.
strain.
Yeah, you can make Charlotte's Web like in a test tube, basically, of like different terpenes and different cannabinoids. You can basically build Charlotte's Web now. Like you don't really need the plant anymore. The main thing is like getting these cannabinoids, like vast, wide variety of cannabinoids: CBD, CBG, CBN, CBC, full spectrum
Yes.
cannabinoids, and being able to like grow plants that have those, and then isolating those compounds and being able to put it here and put it here and make it exactly tailored sometimes to the people who need it. Hey, I need Charlotte's Web. Well, it's tough to produce enough Charlotte's Web flower for the entire like Caesar population, for example, like people out
Yes,
there having
indeed.
seizures.
And
Like,
especially each region grows a specific strain that's different levels of cannabinoids, because I hear down south you can grow better hazes with better THC percentage, and up north in the mountains you can grow better CBDs. And I'm firmly believe
well,
that.
and I don't know about those some of those things may have originated in those areas, but like you can grow cannabis anywhere in the world.
Oh, right on. I'm just saying, like, because of the
Whether it be
sunlight
inside,
factors and the.
outside, you can take that seed
No, I'm not
and make
saying that you
yeah,
can't, but it's.
yeah, no, for sure, for sure. Yeah, just kind of encouraging your viewers, like, hey, just because you live somewhere,
Oh,
doesn't limit
definitely.
you to like what you can grow. I feel like you can grow
Right on,
anything
but we can
anywhere.
also hone in just like these cannabinoids with the CBG. So I've only smoked about like CBG the white and maybe CBG super haze. Um, what about your research with the CBG and any plants that you're working on right now, and that you have
Well,
anything in stock, or do you have anything in the future that you want to go and incorporate with CBG or the CBN?
CBG is one of those tough ones to find, like in high concentrations. People are really hunting those phenos and those strains that like have high CBG. What they're
It's
doing
rare.
a
It's
lot of
brand
times
new.
is finding like full spectrum hemp, that has a variety of cannabinoids, and then extracting that CBG from it. So that's how they're getting a lot of these like CBG isolates and things like that. So the cherry wine that I work with. It has
Nice.
it's a full spectrum hemp that grows beautiful, chunky, flavorful flowers. So
I've heard of it once.
and yeah, so and it has wide variety of cannabinoids. It has CBG in it in a very small amount, and that was just the phenotypes we had tested. So there is like a possibility that there is CBG, but there's definitely CBC, CBN, CBD, obviously,
Yes.
small amounts of THC, and all those. Well, I think there's like 5 different cannabinoids in the one we had tested. So that one in particular, the cherry wine, and I actually have those in stock. Those are fairly inexpensive because they are hemp seeds. I have them. I can sell you one seed, or I can sell you, 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 seeds.
Hemp is very resourceable. It
Yeah,
is one of the
yeah, and
most
it's very cost
resourceable
effective.
crops and um, plants across the world for
Yeah,
everything.
yes, I agree. It's like we used to grow a lot of hemp in America.
Yeah, the
Grow
U.S. Constitution was actually grown on a hemp piece
yeah,
of paper.
a lot of canvas. It used to be, canvas used to be made out of hemp fiber.
Yeah,
Like
it was the most
do
common
all
traded
the
plant
Mona
across
Lisa
the
was
world.
painted on hemp. Things like that. It's pretty cool to think about.
Clothing was made out of hemp.
Yeah, and
There was
clothing,
hemp oil.
medicine, fuel,
I
clothing,
believe Mr. Ford
livestock.
himself, the car manufacturer, made a Model T in the 1920s that ran on hemp oil, and it rivaled the gas industry. And well, you know how that
And
goes.
then you know how that goes. But yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool to think about it and think those things are kind of coming back. Hemp.
Yes, indeed. Actually, with the legislation that people are pushing for hemp, it's becoming more popular across the states, and I'm excited. I'm excited to go ahead and get into this early because here in about 10 years, just like you said, maybe here in 10, 20, 30 years, it's going to be everywhere. Everyone's
It's
just
going to
going to
be
be
everywhere.
smoking.
Yeah, and it really
And
is already kind of everywhere.
it is. It's on every block, but
One,
soon now you'll see it on every street.
yeah,
Like every
exactly. Yeah, with and
everywhere.
the farm bill a couple years ago passed. It was it uh, allows people to ship hemp products across the country. So you're allowed to receive hemp products in all the states in the United States right now. So I think that's a big win.
And I think everybody should be using this to their resource and to their, valuable body because, hey, right now it is at the top of its line. Like everybody's offering some organics, everybody's offering the CBDs and full spectrums, everybody's offering the nice terpenes. And it's a beautiful time in America. I mean, it's not the perfect, but you can really get
It's
it
coming
done right.
around. It's coming around, and a lot of the states are
I mean, if you know what
lagging
you're doing,
behind. Like
you can
Texas,
benefit yourself.
my home state of Texas is lagging behind in those cannabis legislation measures, and
Oof.
moving things along. And there's a lot of states in the United
I
States
think it'll
that are
be there
behind.
within 3 years, probably.
I hope so. I hope so for everyone's sake. It's an awesome plant. For a lot of reasons. I think it'll help a lot of people, bring a lot of jobs. Things like that. It'll if we just open this thing up, it'll. I don't understand why.
Yeah, you know what? That is true. It will become a crop that will be for all the people and all the employees in society. Like
Yeah, because
you'll
you can
you'll
make.
you'll start seeing a lot of employees and a lot of businesses open up. That's like thousands of workers for
Yeah,
hemp in every city and maybe every
yeah,
county.
help the economy and all that. So it's done wonders here in Colorado. A lot of the taxes went to schools and things like that. So it's really done a lot of good. So I'm excited to see more what it can do.
So, what strains? What strains are you most like master? Yeah, what strains have you mastered, and that you can tell my viewers in your arsenal?
So some of our newer strains. So we started off a lot of our breeding projects with Peruvian male. So I actually went to Peru and I was lucky enough to bring back some seeds from a local region called Cusco, as a town of Cusco, and
Amazing.
and brought those seeds back and incorporated them into a lot of my lines. And one of the strains we crossed that with was Purple Punch crossed a Mendo Breath. So it's Purple Punch crossed a Mendo Breath crossed a Peruvian heirloom, and we called that Peruvian Punch. And those have since been sold out. The F2s were sold out. But what we did do, and that turned out to be a beautiful plant. You can hit me up on Instagram or wherever I can show you some pictures. It was
Yes, it is
something
beautiful.
to be
All his work is
marveled. There was
beautiful for sure.
New Flora is a big dispensary here in Colorado. They were growing it out, and they just did a beautiful job. Purple, very chunky cookies. Some of those lavender notes that I like, the sweetness, but also some of that Kim and stuff like that, and gas. So kind of the best of both worlds. And we
Beautiful.
incorporated that into our new Afghan line. So we took some Afghan seeds from Afghan Hindu Kush seeds that were directly collected from the region, not by me, but from the region, um, and we crossed the Peruvian punch to that. So we made an Afghan punch, and that's something that I'm very proud of. Um,
That sounds like a tier one strain.
yeah, I'm really excited about it. It's kind of got everything. It checks all the boxes for me. It's very strong, very early, a lot of vigor early on. Lots of fast growth, thick stems, thick
Strong
leaves.
genetics.
Strong genetics, resistant to pests and pathogens, which is why we worked with a lot of landrace strains to begin with. Ends up finishing
Yes.
just beautiful, chunky, fat, whoop, fat resinous flowers. Um, just just a beautiful plant. So that's one that I'm most proud of, because we kind of took
So
it from the Peruvian heirloom all the way back to the Afghan, and incorporated some of the new genetics, the purple punch, or purple punch, and the Mendo breath, and kind of slammed it all together and made something pretty special.
So when traveling to Peru, was it something that the whole culture was, already in love with? Like, it's not even a second thought in their nature to use it.
Well,
Just
no, it's not necessarily like that. There, it's just like it is kind of in a lot of places in America or around the world. It's in the
kind
back.
of a taboo thing,
It's
kind
in
of
the shadows.
for.
It's taboo. Exactly.
Oh man,
Um,
okay.
so I was lucky enough to stumble upon some guys that I just had a feeling that they just had some good vibes, and there's a fun loving group of guys, the locals,
Nice.
maybe like in their 20s, and I just said, hey, where can I mota?
Hey,
¿Dónde
the
está?
vibes are vibes, man.
¿Dónde está mota? And that's basically all I don't know a whole lot of Spanish. And they said,
Me either.
oh, we have here, right here, and they had a little bit in their pocket, and they just gave it to me, a little bit, maybe like a quarter, something like that. And they said, "Oh yeah,"
Tasted nice.
he says, from Cusco. We were in Cusco. He's from here. And I said, "Oh, okay." So I tried it, and it was very. It was chunkier than most sativa buds that I had seen, so it was surprising, but it had, like, the uplifting effect, but it was very, very steady, and I just ended up. I really liked the effects, and the flavor, especially
Yeah, they're
considering
unique.
it wasn't like perfectly cured or anything like that, but it shone through. It was a beautiful flavors, and I found some seeds in there, and I brought them back, um, and the rest is history. So
Hey, so I've heard of a few other specific regions for hemp, which would be like Umpqua, Oregon, in the Umpqua Valley, and Kentucky has some unique hemp. Where what unique strains have you gone to get for hemp, and any other
so
ones? And
so hemp,
continue on with besides the Peruvian and the Afghan.
hemp is, another region we touched on was Mozambique
Oh
and
yeah, yes,
Malawi.
yeah, that is, yeah.
And Malawi. So Mozambique and Malawi had two separate, varieties from each of those, and incorporated that into our Mozambique line. So that's a very true African sativa line. That one's interesting. As for the hemp stuff, we really don't go all over the place with hemp. We went one place because we aimed initially, and we still do, aim to please customers that are looking for what they call legal hemp. So legal hemp is 0.3% THC or less. Anything above that is considered cannabis. So
Yep.
if they're going to get these products tested, their business depends on their them being at 0.3% THC or less. We don't like to go just with any hemp variety, just because there's a lot of different phenotypes out there and a lot of different expressions.
Yeah, there's
And
millions by now.
you can't be messing with other people's pocketbooks like that. So we went with one strain, one variety, cherry wine that's been proven that I've known, I've had,
Okay.
I've grown. We went through a good friend of mine that I knew from high school that had been growing and in a licensed, grow or licensed hemp fields basically, and he was producing large pounds and pounds of hemp seed and hemp and hundreds and thousands of pounds of hemp flour. So he was getting his stuff tested all the time, and he had to meet a lot of requirements for his seeds. And so we bought his seeds, and we only bought his seeds. So we were able to get linked in with him, and we bought a multiple pounds of his seed at a very, very fair price for us, because like I said, we were good friends. It worked out, and that's why we're able to provide such a low cost to the consumer, where a lot of people are upcharging. We'll if you need hemp seeds, we'll get you hooked up with something.
Nice. Yeah, that hemp is actually something that I think everybody should start growing themselves. I mean, if they're in a legal state.
If you're in a legal state, exactly. Because once it hits above that point, because you can grow it a little longer and not be too afraid, if you're in a legal state. But once it hits, a certain age, a certain ripeness, it's going to be getting to the cannabis point rather than the hemp level.
And I believe it grows 4 times faster than like any of these paper trails that we get for trees and stuff. So it's like 4 times more resourceable than trees and paper. That's what I meant to say.
Make a bunch of different stuff from it, just like they can paper and pulp it. And so it's.
I mean, any farmers out there who wants to go ahead and invest in the future, that's where it's at.
Yeah, or you just get some small knowledge. The best knowledge is obtained through experience. So growing small amounts of seeds, over and over and over again, you'll get better and better and better. I learn something every time I grow, a new cycle and things like that. So the more grows you have under your belt, the better. So I would, if you haven't grown anything, I would say start with hemp. They're really cheap. You can get a bunch of them, try 1 or 2, and try your hand at it. And if you mess up, it doesn't cost you that much, and then you can kind of go from there. That's what I like to tell people who've never done it before.
So those hemp shirts, are those like?
Oh, let me see if I can go grab. I'll go grab one so you can see.
Yeah, man. Hey, go ahead. Let's promote one. So for my viewers at home, this is Heart and Soil Project. Go check them out on Instagram.
All right. Thanks for bearing with me. So yeah, we got 2 different colors. So we have
the good green vibes.
Good green vibes. And then we got,
oh, nice.
That's one of my favorite colors that they have. It's
nice. Like nice calm magenta.
Yeah, like a light burgundy.
Okay.
And then we also have these beanies.
Oh, nice. Are those hemp?
So so these are partial hemp.
Okay, sweet.
Is a partial hemp, and then And then same with
Sweet.
these. These are super comfy.
Oh, those look pretty nice. Those look like those new
And then
caps.
these are made of hemp. So this is actually the natural color. When this is no dye added.
Yeah, I love that white, the hemp white.
So yeah, it's pretty much like this cream white. Sorry, let me get the
Nice, dude. The nice
and then
cap.
the yellow.
Hey, those some nice high vibes, dude. Congrats. Hey, I like this.
So
Nice.
yeah, it's a company out of Denver called Alpine Hemp Company. They do a killer job. Yeah, Alpine Hemp, shout them out. Whoop.
Nice. So where they can find us at heartandsoilproject.com.
Heartandsoilproject.com. And if you want to buy anything from our website, put "We Love You" in the coupon code area, and you'll get 40. It's either 40 or 60% off.
Hey, man.
I can't
Thank
remember.
you. And the viewers will thank you too, I'm sure. Ooh, that's nice. Hey,
Yeah.
so what is the future with some of these genetics that you got going on, as far as how quickly do you think you're going to be able to see the evolution in the percentages? So I've recently heard of some genes and some strains topping out at 39. I'm not saying all of us are going to reach there, but like within the next decade, we're probably going to see these 40 percenters, right? Is that what
That's
you're thinking?
debatable.
I'm thinking that.
So once cannabis does have a threshold, believe it or not, you can't just
Well,
like pack on.
we don't know everything about reality just yet, and things are still getting unlocked.
So we actually do. So the thing is,
Mhm.
the cannabis plant produces this thing called hydrogen peroxide once it reaches a certain percentage of THC, and it actually buffers that THC amount. So there is a threshold. Now, what that threshold is, you're right, we don't know, but it does actually buffer itself. So it doesn't just like produce THC.
Which is what I've heard about taking CBD.
THC isn't necessarily the most important compound in cannabis that gets you high either. So terpenes, other cannabinoids, what they call the entourage effect, will actually elevate you to the levels that you are looking for better than just going for the highest THC percentage. So the highest THC percentage is great in theory, but in practice, your brain just like really can't absorb the amount of THC a lot of times you're putting in there when you're taking these giant dabs or like hitting these like 32% THC. Your brain doesn't absorb them the same way if there's no compounds such as CBD, CBG, CBN, CBC, a multitude of terpenes that actually. So lavender, for example, will actually help sedate you and help relax you. So lavender combined with THC actually has more of an effect calming your nerves and calming your muscles than just THC or lavender alone. So combining those two together actually have what they call the entourage effect. So THC is not always the main player. But to your point, my goal is not to reach 30, 40% THC. That's not the goal of Heart and Soil Project. The goal of Heart and Soil Project is to preserve old school landraised strains, combine them with new things, create and preserve beautiful terpenes, effects, structure, resistance to pests and pathogens, things of that nature. So when you go for one goal in breeding, such as like highest THC percentage or biggest buds or whatever, you limit your gene pool. And a lot of those genetics are not they're not good just because they have a lot of THC.
But you
lose out on
cut out
vigor,
all the CBDs and all the.
You lose out on vigor. You lose out on clone. Reproductivity, clonability, a lot of things. So like some of these old school strains, are like or not old school, like Girl Scout cookies, for example. One of the building blocks for like cookies.
On the West Coast, it's
and a lot of
popular over
these,
here.
Beautiful strains that just make they're just beautiful, and they're fire. Let's be honest. But growing them out next to something such as Blue Dream, for example,
I've
usually,
seen the difference, so
you
I
know,
know what you
it's like
mean.
5, 6, 8 times the yield um, on these, other genetics. So, when
Stronger
you're a
genes.
grower, when you're a grower, you want to grow the most weed possible. And
Right on.
sometimes people grow these fire strains only, but they really sacrifice in a lot of categories. Now, there's a market for everybody.
I mean,
And I'm
we're
not
all
saying,
evolving together too. So
yeah, and I think it's important that you consider both sides or all sides.
yeah,
So like that's
take
kind
a
of what
take a
we
bit
do.
of a piece from here and
Well,
here,
we're,
and
we're definitely we've had a couple strains hit 28, 29%. We haven't hit any 30 percenters yet in our that have been tested. But yeah, I mean, obviously we're looking for those numbers just like
hey,
anybody
that's
else.
still a high percent because once you hit above 20, it's a different level.
It is.
At least,
It is. Yeah, it's not like that old school 12%
and
weed
it
anymore.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely not like the weed back in the 2000s with your
Yeah,
friends.
but we have everything in between. We have some of those really old school sativa strains that take 16 15 days to finish, and then we have some of these Afghan strains that take like 8 weeks to finish or 9 weeks to finish, and they have like very vastly different structures and finishing times and terpenes and effects. So hopefully we can find something that like like I would say like the nose knows. It's like whatever you like to smell, like whatever flavors you're looking for, things like that.
Right
Those
on.
those really resonate with your body and will actually give you the effects you're looking for. So like if
So
you're yeah.
I've had some interesting strains from a place called Tweedle Farms. They had this strain called Mothership that had 20 terpenes in it because it's curated through that. And it's,
Wow.
they're special hemp because sometimes hemp can be very interesting with their terpene profiles, right?
Yeah.
And I gotta say, like, I'm sure if you go ahead and check them out, like you would love what they got on their hemp side because they're really
Cool.
involved with it. That's all they do. And
I have
and
seen
this
a
what
lot of companies do that. They go that direction, which is that's so much fun, because like you could
it's a
really do a
beautiful
lot with
thing.
that plant.
And yeah, I'm really in love with it because I've just started using it in their company and their hemp products in the last year. And then you incorporated these old school genetics, and right about now I think it is the perfect time to go ahead and get the most involved with this genetic things like you and these Twiddle Farms have, because hey, like, if you see what's happening across our body and across the world in this current day and age, this is the perfect thing that to curate and to cure yourself and your family with these terpene researches, these genetic researches, these really superior genetics. And because it's gonna heal you and your family and your society if you go ahead and choose this route to grow these way stronger, way better, way faster than most of these other strains out here that's that we find in the recreational market. Yeah, it's like it looks fancy, but it's not that healer. And I'm glad to go ahead and find your company, man. It's nice to go ahead and find someone with this dedication and this, as your company says, heart and soil project. That it's
Yeah,
a
we,
rare
we
thing to
really
go
try
ahead
to
and
live
look
up.
at this genetic side.
Yeah, we really try to live up to that too, and we really do try to give back to the community and try to be involved as much as we can. And I'm not going to go into my own horn and say the things that we've
Oh,
done, but we really
all right.
do try to give back on a small scale and big scale when we have the opportunity. So I think that's important for anybody involved in the industry to realize like the people that came before us and the example that we have to set for the people coming behind us, like how because there's a lot of different ways to go about things in any business or any industry, and I
And it
think
is
it's
a multi-billion-dollar industry,
yeah,
man.
I think it's important to remember like first remember the plant and give respect to the plant, and then remember the people and give respect to the people, and if you can kind of go like in that direction, like it gives back to you first of all, but then also it's like I know that's
You're
like
gonna be able
wild.
to learn. You're gonna be able to learn from it and give back. And
Yeah, and it's a big part of Heart and Soul Project, like you said. So
so we've touched across four strains. Is there any other strains that you want to talk about? At least four from specific regions. You mentioned Malawi, the Mozambique. You mentioned the Peruvian and the
um,
African, and
so
you
we're
you
working
have
with
a
some.
Hindu, right?
So it's the Hindu, Afghan Hindu Kush. So it's from Afghanistan. It's from the Hindu Kush region.
Oh
Um,
man, that's one of the oldest regions for
there's a
cannabis
wide
in the world.
variety of cannabis there. It says Afghan Hindu Kush. Obviously you're expecting, it's somewhere typically between 8 to 10 week flowering times. But there's like a lot of different expressions and terpenes, and that's a lot. A lot of the building blocks, of cannabis started in those regions. So we're going to be exploring that a lot. So one of the other ones we're exploring right now that we actually got as a gift from somebody is Egyptian
Ooh.
seeds. So from the Sinai region, called the Sinai Peninsula, and
Okay.
that region. I've heard from some people that there's some sweet and there's a wide variety of terpenes, but like peach terpenes from that region. But also from stuff in that area, I've seen a lot of like really skunky
See,
expression.
I heard Durban poison actually comes from somewhere in Africa, and it was taken over to Amsterdam, crossbred, and brought over here.
Yep, yep, yeah, that's right. Yeah, so yeah, a lot of these genetics, originated in that
Africa
region.
is just so large too, and
Well, in
I'm
Egypt
sure.
and Mesopotamia, that area, the Fertile Crescent, that was like where cultivation began, where like people realized the power of the seed combined with the power of human intention, what you could do. They created civilizations.
Yeah,
So
and
that's
it
like a
still
lot of the.
hasn't fallen too far off course from where it was over the last couple thousand years. Like that whole area is still
Oh,
kind of similar still.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, exactly. And like, there's a lot of biodiversity and a lot of richness there. So yeah, so we're hoping to find something interesting there. We're doing something right now called the Skunk Hunt. We went searched low and high and got skunk genetics about or what we hope to be skunk. Some has skunk in the name or skunk lineage, and some are from different regions or things like that. Uh, in Afghanistan or Pakistan or Egypt or whatever. Um,
Right on.
uh, but we are looking for skunk terpenes. I said traditionally I really like sweet terpenes, but the skunk ones are it's next on the menu. So
Some of
let
the
me
original
let me
skunk,
plug
the
it. I'm gonna
skunk
plug in my
one.
computer real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, hey, no problem.
I don't want to lose you.
So for skunk, that would incorporate skunk number one, skunk number two, and I believe pineapple haze or pineapple express.
So
Some
there's
of those
roadkill.
pineapple
I mean, there's
strains have
there's a
skunk in it.
multitude. There's a multitude of skunk strains. There's I'll look through some of these like the Uncle Fester skunk, skunk one, skunk 18, um, skunk haze, black Afghan haze has some skunk in it. There's what should we call it? Roadkill skunk. So one of the genetics we're working with right now is roadkill skunk crossed to skunk one. So that should produce some interesting terpenes.
Yeah, some really heavy couch vibes.
Yeah, yeah. So that's we'll see. There's gonna be a wide variety of sweet, from everything from sweet skunk to spicy skunk to what people call rancid
Yeah, you really
skunk.
want to touch all over the spectrum. I
Yeah,
believe
so
these. I believe these flavor profiles can go in so many different ways, and that is one of the things I foresaw when I got involved with this cannabis medical side. And I'm really loving what you got. So continue on.
yeah. So we're exploring the skunk spectrum. Just like you said, we're one of the strains we're going to do is we're going to take cherry wine that I mentioned before. We did a big pheno hunt, and we're looking. We're going to find a couple of cherry wine phenos and cross them to the skunk as well. So we're going to have something I like to call a full spectrum skunk. So we're going to have
Nice.
something that has both CBD and THC. It won't be categorized as hemp. It'll be full strength, and we hope to have a ton of cannabinoids in that one. So so yeah, our projects kind of reach high and low, and try to find a lot of different varieties of spice of life. Nutrition. The best thing to do is eat as many different types of healthy foods as possible. Same thing in cannabis, I believe, is try as many different types of cannabis as possible, and not only is you're always going to find your favorites, but I think you're always going to find new favorites and things your body needs and craves, and things that can heal and do a lot of awesome
Right.
things.
Cannabis has like over 400 or around 400 elements, and the profile in which it is symbiotic with your body, it's like absolutely insane. We are one with the plant, and what it does to us is absolutely amazing.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I've seen things like hemp grinders, hemp rolling trays. Is that something maybe that you have in the future?
Not me personally, but
Hemp backpacks.
I have a, we're really going to try to, stick to what we do best and not try to
Okay.
go too far. We like to do hats, beanies, and shirts. And right now, that's what we're pretty much going to stick to. We have a good suppliers that do a great job. It's tough to find good vendors sometimes that are going to do what they say they're going to do. And the more you diversify with some of that stuff, as I've found, you get let down. And there's more challenges.
Yeah, you
So we
really
want
gotta
to
pick and
provide
choose with this. It's
the highest quality
yeah,
product, at the lowest price, and the main thing is quality. A lot of people just don't have the quality of hemp that we're looking for, frankly.
nice. Yeah, quality
Um,
is good.
a
Organic
lot of
hemp.
stuff they get it from China, and the stuff from China, not all of it's bad. I'm not saying that, but some of it is, and some of it's just not comfortable to wear.
Yeah,
So these shirts, people will tell you like they wear these shirts to bed. They get stolen by wives and girlfriends all the time because they're so comfortable. And we
I
have some for
definitely
you,
wear
wives and
organic
girlfriends too.
clothing to bed myself.
Yeah, I mean, my wife likes to. Girls sometimes like to. Will cut the top off and use it as a because it's so soft. And use it as like a night.
Organic clothing is incomparable, man.
Yeah, it is. Well, I've gotten some hemp stuff that it wasn't up to snuff, and that was kind of the reason that we just really we're going to hone in on the seed production, on CBD, and the couple product or a couple shirts, hats, things like that. We went and looked at hoodies and things like that, but the price point just gets too high, and I just don't think some people want them, but we
So,
like
do
to.
you offer products for soil? Is that something part of your
So we
company?
don't. Oh, so that was my segue. So somebody that I do know, they do make rolling trays, and they actually have. Let me see. Yeah, let me get all my weed stuff off of here so I can show you.
It's all right,
I
man. You
literally
know how
have
it goes.
all my weed stuff on the rolling tray. There's weed left over.
Nice. What is that? Glass?
So it's epoxy.
What is that?
So it's like
Plastic-ish?
it's plastic at the end.
Okay. Okay.
Um, but like I have somebody.
That's pretty dope. That's pretty awesome still,
So like
honestly.
that's like a big chunk of epoxy.
That's super dope.
So that's like that's like what a male that I had.
And that's real leaf.
Yeah, real leaves and real male flowers are in there, preserved in time to remind me of one of my breeding projects, the original Afghan punchline that we did. So that was pretty cool. But two bro smoke. Let me at two bro smoke on Instagram. Let me see if I can pull him up to make sure. Come on. Where are you? Yeah, at two bros. So the TWOBROS or bro smoke. Yeah. So two bro smoke.
All right. Yeah, I'll go ahead and have that underneath the YouTube
Yeah, I
description.
want to make sure to hook him up. He does a podcast too.
Hey, nice.
I think it's important, to make sure that we're all collaborating at all times. I don't think we're none of us. I'm good friends with seed breeders, and we all collaborate and things like that. And it only makes it better when we all work together. So I don't think
Absolutely.
we're ever in competition. So, but yeah, he's got a podcast as well. But yeah, he does these cool trays. He gave this to me for my birthday. along with some other cool stuff. He's an awesome guy. But you asked about rolling trays, and there's a hemp rolling tray that he probably has more of in stock, or he can make you a custom one. I know he can do that too, which is kind of exciting.
Nice.
Um,
Hey, Valentine's Day is coming up for the viewers at
Valentine's Day is
home.
coming up. Yeah, I'm sure he's got like hemp, like actual hemp, and he'll break it up and make a little heart. He's he put some gold flakes in
Hey,
mine.
I used to do that cute stuff back in the day too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to keep it fresh with the ladies.
I
Can't let the
mean,
romance
women
die.
love it too. They actually uh gain more sensation off the plant than we do, I believe, because they have more receptors in their body. Isn't that what they say?
I know my wife is definitely in a better mood and more easily to deal with after she's had a good smoke. So
All right. So, something about soil. Is that what you also wanted to talk about? Soil?
so you asked
Do-
if we had soil like
Or,
products. We don't.
or do
But
you
one
offer
of our
any
main
type of advice for soil for my
we do
viewers?
we do we'll do consulting as a consulting project for you. I mean, I consulting isn't definitely isn't the biggest part of our job, but it is something that comes up. We'll answer questions for you for free. If you just want to message us or email us or whatever. Especially if you're growing our stuff, we'll give you all kinds of information. If you're looking for like information on how to build out, facilities or standard operating procedures or more advanced things, we can provide start to finish build outs and quotes and everything you could possibly need to start a no-till living soil grow, all those things. If you're looking to kind of do this on a commercial level or semi-professional level, but so we do that, offer those soil or setup or full grow from start to finish, cure everything consultation. But we're also here if you need us, so don't hesitate to reach out. I'm not saying I want to call them little guys or whatever, but people don't necessarily want to spend money on advice. I get it. I don't either. That's why I learned everything the hard way. But I'm happy to answer questions, especially regarding soil health or worms or biodiversity or inoculation of mycorrhiza or things like that. So I just want people to be growing the best quality medicine for themselves and their family and having the most success doing it, because it's not fun when you don't have success doing something. And if you have success, you're going to do it over and over and over again. And that's what I like to see when people start growing cannabis. I don't want to see them like get a spider mites and then never grow weed again or whatever. Things happen. And I think
Right.
it's just to have
Yeah, I know what you mean.
the knowledge to push through. So yeah, I'm here for that knowledge if needed.
So, just a little quick reference to the cannabis game. Is there any strains that you're particularly interested, like just in general, that you've seen across America or across the world over the last year or so that you want to go ahead and be like, hey, to the viewers, talk like give a little bit of hype about maybe some strains or some growers that you want to reference, or even companies
So
that you found fascinating that's interesting.
yeah, a lot. We work a lot with a company and a breeder called Covert Genetics. Jonathan Covert of Covert Genetics. He has been breeding, I don't know, maybe 10 years or more. He was breeding before I was. I met him while I was breeding at um, Greenpoint Seeds is where I started doing my breeding, and he's got some fire strains. Kim Brulee. I don't know if you've ever heard of Kim Brulee, that strain. Um,
Yep.
you
I
have?
I'm think I'm smoking it right now.
I bet you
Yeah.
have. It's all over the world now. It's been all over the country
Yeah,
for a
it's
long
it's
time.
in the West Coast for sure, over here in the
Yeah, so
Pacific
Kim
Northwest.
Brulee, absolute fire. So Covert Genetics. I work a lot hand in hand with him. He's got some of my genetics he's working with. I'm working with some of his. Um, the latest and greatest of his creations, in my opinion, that I've been working with is the Big Body Gelati, and that's Kim
Oh man, that
DI95
sounds tough.
cross, yeah, cross to Lotto 95, which is like a gelato cross that just was just unbelievable. He's gracious enough to let me in his garden and look around, and that plant was just like, I'm like, you can see it. What is that over there? Like 3 times the size of everything else, just frosted out, chunky beyond belief. And he's like, oh yeah, that's that Lotto 95. So I took the Lotto 95 crossed to Kim DI 95 is his big body gelati, and that is just absolute fire. And we took that and we made some crosses with it already. And Candy Slab is big body gelati crossed to Taste the Rainbow, and the phenos on those are just beautiful, frosted, purple, lots of different.
The terpene profiles are astounding.
Astounding, yeah. A lot of these various terpenes. So yeah, so Covert Genetics, Kimberlay, big body gelati. He just made a GMO BX. So feminized.
You know, I just smoked the GMO BX over here, and it was pretty fire. It was
There's
funky.
a lot of GMO BXs out there. You know, he used this relatively new feminizing technique. It was not the colloidal silver. I can't. You'll have to ask him to tell you exactly what he did. But it was a different method. And so Slap and Tickle is grape pie crossed to GMO. So we also did a feminized version of that strain called Slap and Tickle, which has been one of my favorites because it incorporates kind of like a lot of the things I do: lavender, grape, gas, fuel, sweet, funky. You know, like sweet. A lot of those like little wide variety. You know, but that
strain,
that
nice,
genetic,
relaxing, uplifting, calming.
Yeah, kind of like an even keel. You can smoke it in the morning, you can smoke it in the evening, smoke it in the middle of the day, and it's just going to do what you want it to do, and not make you super paranoid, and not make you couch lock, but like somewhere in between, just like happy and active and healthy and ready to go about your day. So that's a lot of the stuff that I go after.
So
yeah.
For our viewers, if you could go ahead and talk about your strains as we wrap this up, which would like a sativa based, so you can talk about that. Just
I'm sorry, you're breaking up just a little bit. What was that? Can you hear me?
What of your strains would be indica or sativa based?
Okay, so
as we wrap this up.
So the Peruvian lines, the sativa based lines are going to be the original Peruvian line, which is sold out, so irrelevant. But then we got the Mozambique line. The Mozambique line is the most sativa that we have. And then we have 3 different Afghan lines. So 3 Afghan lines are going to be the most indica. And then we have some that are somewhere in between. The Peruvian Punch line, which is a cross between the Peruvian Sativa and Purple Punch and Mindo Breath, which are indica hybrids. So that has been kind of our staple. So anything from the Peruvian Punch line is going to be nice and balanced. And then the Taste the Rainbow line is Mandarin Skittles crossed to Peruvian Punch. So that one is kind of like a balanced hybrid. So that one's kind of right in the middle. So it's going to be a little bit more.
I'm actually smoking some Mandarin cream cheese.
Whoa, that sounds amazing.
Okay.
So I think there's a little bit of a lag.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit laggy, but okay.
It might be my fault.
All right. Was that about it for your strains? No, is that?
Yeah. So that kind of goes over.
There's probably a lot of.
It kind of goes over the line. Yeah, it kind of goes over the basis of the lines from sativa to indica. And then if you have any questions, you can email me at banderson@heartandsoilproject.com, or you can follow us on Instagram at Heart and Soil Project or at Heart and Soil Seeds. So our at Heart and Soil Project is our main account, and then at Heart and Soil Seeds is our backup account, but we've grown a semi decent following there. So yeah, follow both if you'd like, and ask away. Oh, happy to help.
Nice, man. Hey, you have a good afternoon. Blessings to you.
Yeah,
And
you
thank
as
you
well,
for
man.
the time. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you. We'll talk soon. Have a great day.
Thank you. Yes,
Peace.
sir. Peace out, man. So for my viewers at home, that was the interview with Heart and Soil Project, Brett Anderson. What a wonderful company, man. That's what you want out of your flowers. You want to know who and why they grew it and why they're giving it to you and what the flower is really about. You don't really want those flowers that aren't going to help you and that weren't made by people that aren't for you. So go ahead, check him out at his website, heartandsoilproject.com. And thank you for your time. This is 509 Divine Pines. Checking out. Go like, subscribe, tell your friends, and have a good one. Enjoy the cannabis that God intended for us. Heal up, bless up, peace out.